The volunteer organizers, and I am joined by a bunch of other organizers. Organizers, please raise your hands. Round of applause, please. How many first-time visitors do we have? All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. For those of you that don't know, 1 Million Cups is a product of the Kaufman Foundation out of Kansas City, Missouri. And right now, in about 120 cities across the country, are 1 Million Cups meetings going on. Average attendance is about 26, I want to say 28. And we are closer to 42. That's awesome. So today's speaker is Krimitsos, and he literally just drove in from Tampa, just got off the road. He is the owner or the founder of the Florida Podcasters Association. He's a serial entrepreneur, a community builder, all-around great guy, really big into podcasting. But today he's here to talk about the Florida film industry. It should be an outstanding presentation. Very excited to have him. Please join me in welcoming Krimitsos.
So awesome. We're going to talk about growing the film industry in Florida, and I want to just start with this definition. And this is the definition of ecological gardening. It's the use of native plants in the garden landscape that can both preserve and protect natural ecosystems and reduce the amount of care and energy required to maintain a healthy garden landscape. Native plants are adapted to the local climate and geology and often require less maintenance than exotic species. Who here likes going snorkeling, looking at coral reefs? Okay, this is going to tie into growing a film industry in Florida and kind of what's going on now. One of the biggest challenges we have is Florida has a lot of film commissioners. Those of you who don't know, Florida last year had about 112 million visitors. There's a tourist tax. There's a small percentage of the tourist tax that goes to film incentives for counties, not just the state. I know some may be familiar, but they try to do away with the state. But each county has money to invest in this. The challenge is they use that incentive money to underwrite Hollywood or outside productions, not local filmmakers in the state of Florida. So now you take our money and you subsidize someone else. And the reason why they do that is the politicians look great in the media, because now some big star comes through, but the money goes to outside production, it goes back to wherever they came from. One of the things that they say they spurn, if you read the documents, is dry cleaning. Really, it goes through the roof when outside production, which is great, but it doesn't really create an industry, which is, I think, what they're trying to do. This is basically a map of incentives. Now, the way this incentive thing started was in Toronto, Canada. They got together and they said, what industry can we subsidize to grow out of Toronto? And they said the film industry is a clean industry. There's no pollution, and it's high-paying jobs. Let's subsidize it. So they started giving about 10 or 20% of a budget of a film back. Now, the problem with this thinking is now you have municipalities all over our country, but all over the world, that are competing to give subsidies. I don't know if anyone knows, but Louisiana, if you look at a lot of films are made down in Louisiana, they give 33% back. So let's say you spend $100 million, Louisiana will give you a $33 million check for that, off the tax dollars. So you're not going to win that race. And there's other places now that have grown those industries in the beginning because they were early adapters, but we're not going to win that race because how much money do you want to give back? It's really about the local filmmakers. Now, New York City has TV production, Hollywood has movies, and one of my biggest whys is this little munchkin right here, my daughter Sedona. I come from a big fat Greek family. So I don't know if anyone's seen the movie, but I've already marked the house next door for her when she grows up. So she's 21 months out, that's old right now. But I don't want her to leave, but part of me being proactive, I know it's going to sound really long term, is I want to be part of growing industries right here in our own home state, so that way she has opportunities locally and she doesn't leave. I moved from New York to Florida, so I wanted to stay here with me. Thank you. So this is the Florida Podcast Association. Chris mentioned this. So we've done this once already. So we already have a case study called the Florida Podcast Association. It's the most active association of podcasters in the country. We have launched hundreds of podcasts, and we're actually starting to attract podcasters out of the area to move to Florida. So we've done this in about a 2-year span. Now this is what I've learned, and Chris, I brought this, I have a copy for you, one to raffle up. But we actually created a film called The Messengers, a podcast documentary right here in Florida. We started this last year. We got a distributor, and this is our product, Florida made, that's getting exported out to other areas. This is actually going to be on iTunes pretty soon. We'll have a 4-week lead time to when we do pre-sales, and then August 23rd we go live. My goal is to have an independent film go #1 on all of iTunes, competing with Disney and Marvel and all the big films, which would be the first time a small production outside of a Michael Moore or Blair Witch has been able to do that in recent history. So this is why one of the reasons why I'm coming around to share with you, because what I've discovered since making this film about podcasting is that Florida, does anyone know how much talent we have in Florida? This coast alone, Full Sail, is a college where kids all over the world show up to learn about production, which is only like a half hour, 40 minutes from here. So I really believe that the Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, the I-4 corridor, this area, has a lot of talent. But the problem is our talent doesn't stay here because we have not built an ecological garden for them to be here. This gentleman right here is Dominic Smith. That's his partner Scott. These two guys have made 75 independent films. Most of the budgets for their films are $3,000 to $1,000, which just blew my mind away. But if you see the quality, they're creating movie quality production on an independent budget. So the challenge we have is our filmmakers are creating films that are really amazing, but they don't know how to market, distribute, or sell. If we could teach our local filmmakers how to even make $30,000 on a project, we could actually have a sustainable ecosystem that will breed other filmmakers. So you need the little guys to succeed in order to bring all those other people that are part of their crews up the ladder of success. This is another filmmaker, Neil Gilarte. He actually helped me make The Messengers. The Messengers actually took us out to Guatemala, and this was him filming out there. He's actually from Orlando. He's from this coast. He now has moved to Tampa, so he's like my right hand. But he has a lot of contacts on this side of Florida. So he and I have been teaming up, making some amazing productions together. Now here's the proof. We made The Messengers. Now we're exporting our message. This is at CBS Radio in New York City. So we're taking a Florida product and exporting it to them instead of them exporting it to us, which is what we want to see done for us to grow an industry. This is Rick Danforth, another local producer here in the state of Florida. This is the other cool thing about film. Film actually brings all walks of life together. Does anyone have a friend that wants to be an actor? Anyone have, they want to be in a film? This gentleman right here is the largest jeweler in the Tampa Bay area. He owns Gold and Diamond Stores, but he's playing a sheriff in Rick's production. Rick works at Wells Fargo, WellCare. So it's cool how you have now this business guy that everybody knows because every advertisement is, Gold and Diamond Stores. And here he is playing a sheriff because he's always wanted to be an actor. So it actually brings your community together in a really unique way and an artistic, creative way.
That's cool.
This is the production. It's called Lost. Now the challenge we have though is people are not supporting a lot of these locals' productions. So he had a crowdfunding page. The budget was $3,000. I think he raised like $800. So what I'd like to do, and why I'm here, and by the way, it's not just film. YouTube is where some of the greatest filmmakers are existing. I found these guys, the Ireland boys. So this is a modern story. This is what we're hearing a lot of. These kids basically locked themselves overnight in a Target and filmed it, right? And it was really cool. But what they do really well is they're very good at narratives. These kids now are like mini Spielbergs because they're already in high school and they know how to edit at a level, making stories like a Spielberg. I actually watched their channel and it was really engaging, really good. But here's the modern story. They had like 3,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. They went on vacation for Christmas break. Somehow that Target video, someone found it and it went viral. When they came back, they were the most popular kids in school with over 590,000 subscribers. And everybody's like, I knew them when, or I helped them make that production or whatever. So, and they're actually generating quite a bit of revenue. YouTube is one of the fastest ways to generate revenue, depending on how you're marketing. So I'm laying the groundwork for two things. One, The Messengers is going to be released on iTunes, pre-released any day now. So I need local support to help us get it to number one. That's one of the reasons I'm here. Two, I will take a good portion of those profits to start a film network that will actually have a meeting here on this side of the Florida and one in Tampa for us to actually have a marketing business meeting that helps filmmakers monetize their vision. Filmmakers, YouTubers, and podcasters. So on this side will be one big meeting. We already have leaders in Orlando that are stepping up. I'm looking for leaders in Daytona. You guys are, I don't know if you know this, but you're probably one of the top active Million Cups in the whole state. So congratulations on that. I've spoken at Krimitsos. We have an amazing leadership team, and it shows every time I speak here. So here's what the Florida Podcast Association looks like. We have a problem. We've moved now locations twice, and we keep outgrowing the locations. At first, I waited till we outgrew the first location. Then, anyone ever have like an aquarium? The fish grow to the size of the aquarium type thing? So then we were getting like 40 people in this little cramped room that really fits 25. So then I said, all right, let's go to a bigger location. Within 2 months, we outgrew the bigger location because the aquarium was bigger, so more people could fit. So now, this is me in, all the way in the back of the room, and we can't even, it's standing room at the back. We're looking for a bigger location. This meeting gets 55 to 60 people now. We charge $10 per head, and then we bring really great educators, but it's very structured. And I want to be very clear. It's not just like, hey, what are we doing today? It's very like, here's what a podcast is, here's the niches we need to look at, who has monetized, how have they monetized, who would like to come and share. So each month we have different people talking about the strategies. So we're a very abnormal group. When I start looking at meetups across the country, most of them just hang out. We have an objective very much like Million Cups, which is what can we do to make things happen. So I need your help. If you're interested in growing a garden in the film industry, or you know someone that you could connect me to, take a picture of my information because I'm looking to now start the groundswell. Towards the end of this year is when we'll start announcing the meetups, and hopefully, Chris, I'll come back and let you guys know. I don't even have to present, but just letting you know when it's happening, especially on this side of the state. And then I brought these, this is basically, if you'd like to support the messengers and what we're doing, we will, the strategy for the launch, and this is important, you can self-distribute your own movie in today's day and age with an audience. One of the problems, and I did a lot of research, is up until 2 or 3 years ago, distributors would sign you up happily. If you had a really good movie, let's say you made $1 million or $2 million, they would then come up with fees, and the fees would match the exact amount your movie would bring in. So it's a very unique business model. So a lot of independent filmmakers never made money. Now you can actually self-distribute your own film. You still need a distributor because iTunes will not talk to an independent filmmaker. And you can keep the majority of your profits that flows through back to you, but you have to know how to market and find a channel of distribution. So that's kind of what I specialize in. We're pre-launching our movie in a day or two. We're going to charge $5.99 for the messengers. We've screened it now to quite a few audiences. People love what we've created. And then August 23rd, we will be doing our West Coast premiere in Anaheim in front of 600 podcasters, and that's when we go live. My goal is to hit number one. When it hits number one, my ultimate goal is to get on Netflix, because right now that's where the eyeballs are. Netflix is in 157 countries. If they purchase your film, basically it gets international distribution overnight. So I'm going to pass this around. Chris, if you just pass it over here. I'll pass this one. There's 2 pages here. We'll pass it over here. Thank you so much. And I'll call you or email you when that happens. But that's my presentation. I'll take Chris to the Q&A.
All right.